The value of the original recipe. If you are a second generation restaurant owner, a third or fourth generation restaurant owner, or if you are a third or fourth generation company and you had an original recipe, that original recipe is value. And let me tell you why. The person that created that recipe, they took their time, they perfected it, they tested it, they used all of the right ingredients. So when you go and you cut that recipe to increase shareholder value, or you cut that recipe just to save money, that means that you're no longer using that premium vanilla extract that your grandma used to use. Now you're using imitation or a cheaper version of the vanilla extract. When you do that, you change the whole recipe. The whole product is not going to taste the same again. If you are thinking about starting a restaurant, pay attention to this video, because when you start your recipes, you want to write them down and you want to make sure that the people who are in your company are sticking to that original recipe. You want to make sure that you stress the importance of the original recipe. Why? Because the original recipe is value. The reason why your grandpa makes the sauce, that secret Italian sauce, homemade, using those type of ingredients, step by step, the way he does, the way that he slow simmers it, the way that he lets it sit, just that pinch of garlic that he adds to it, just that pinch of paprika that he adds to the pasta sauce, to his marinara sauce. It's value. And he did it all for a reason, because it is the product that sells, and it is the taste. It is the perfect balance to the product. Have you noticed that some of your favorite candy bars or snacks no longer taste the same? I do. I've noticed that the Crunch bar does not taste the same. It just tastes different. I believe somebody touched the fucking recipe. Why? To increase shareholder value. Why? To cut corners. When you touch the original recipe and you say, oh, we need to use cheaper ingredients so that we can give value to the shareholders. Fool, you're giving value to the shareholders for a minute until everybody realizes, hey, this does not taste the same. And then a few years down the line, you're going to realize, oh my God, we made a mistake. Now we no longer have customer loyalty. Now they don't want to buy or purchase our product or candy bar or cake anymore. Have y'all noticed that the Twinkie tastes different? I know the Twinkie tastes different. The Twinkie does not taste the same as it used to taste. It's not as moist. It's not as delicious. You know why? Somebody fucked with the recipe. Somebody in headquarters, some CEO, some vice president, some executive told the people to no longer use the original recipe. Why? To increase shareholder value. Why? Because they wanted to put more money in their pockets so that they can get that bonus. But when you fuck with that original recipe, you are fucking with your company's value. You are messing with your profits. Why? Because when you create a food product, it must taste the same. It must always taste the same. If you make macaroni, it must be consistent every single time. It must taste the same. You must use the same cheese, the same butter, the same milk, the same process over and over again. Because once you start cutting shit and tweaking it to save money, the customer is going to notice. And then guess what? They're no longer going to want that product. Why? Because you messed with the original recipe. To all of you second and third generation owners, listen to me. The reason why your family member created that recipe the way that they did is because they knew it was gold. It was gold. And that is the reason why the restaurant was so successful when your grandma or your nana or when your daddy was alive. Now that you fucked with the recipe, it's no longer good anymore. Why? Because you are cutting corners. And in any great restaurant, the value is in the original recipe. So once you create that recipe, you treat it. Come on. You lock it down. It's a secret. Everybody don't need to know it. Why? Because this is our moneymaker. This is gold. This original recipe is gold. This original recipe is value. The original recipe is millions. Cha-ching-ching. That original recipe will produce you billions. Cha-ching ching. So if you're starting a new restaurant, write your recipes down and do not cut corners. Do not substitute for cheaper versions of the original recipe, the quality items and ingredients that you were using. Because once you do that, you're going to lose customer loyalty. Once you do that, the business is going to sink. Why? Because, I'm going to say it again, the original recipe is value. And it's all about taste. Customers know taste. And you better believe that. And this is one thing that you better take with you and pay attention, especially to all of you new entrepreneurs who are coming into the business and you're starting your own restaurant, food truck, or your catering and delivery business. Keep that recipe the same. Lock it down. Put it in the vault, put it in the safe, and always stick to that original recipe. Why? Because that original recipe is going to make or break your business. If you change it, it's going to break your business. If you change it, your profit is going to decline. If you keep it the same, you're going to see constant revenue. You're going to see an increase in revenue. Why? Because people love the product, because it is delicious and it tastes the same. Don't mess with that recipe, because that original recipe, it's value. I am Bernetta. I am your Restaurant 101 guru. Yes, yes, yes. I know the restaurant business. I want to help you to build a successful restaurant. I am putting together a Restaurant 101 masterclass for all those who are thinking about going into the restaurant business, or if you have been in business for a while and your restaurant is declining, the business is failing, and you have no clue why, I'm going to let you know why. We're going to do Restaurant 101 Masterclass. I'm going to help you to build that business back up. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to turn that business around. I'm going to give you a solid 3-year growth plan for your business. And to all of you new entrepreneurs, you are going to learn some valuable information to help you to build that 7-figure restaurant. Don't mess with that recipe, because the original recipe is what? You already know. It's value.